All right, welcome back to the Randy Forcier podcast. I am Randy Forcier, your host. Today I'm joined by one of my favorite people, joined by Melinda Cobb. Melinda and I go way back, maybe 6 or 7 years from a number of different ways, and I couldn't be happier to have her here. So, hey, Melinda, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for the invite. I'm stoked to be here with you.
We did it. Yay. We finally made it happen. Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself? I think you have such a cool story in business and in life. Figure we'll profile your businesses a little bit, talk about how we met, and then kind of go from there.
All right, sounds good. Well, I've been doing carpentry in Maine for 17 years. I'm a New Hampshire transplant, so I'm not a Maine original like you are. But I started my own business, All Walks of Carpentry, in January 2009. So I've been in business for about 13 and a half years. And that was always different being a female in a male-dominated trade, but I joke with people I can't sit still and I just go for it. So how did
that happen then? Not to cut you off, I definitely want to get to the rest of the story, but like what made you get into that field versus something else?
Well, I went to UNH, got my bachelor's degree in studio art and architecture. I was always helping my parents fix things and build things at home. They were building the house while I was growing up, so we lived in the basement first and then we moved up as the other floors were finished. And I have just always loved working with my hands and creating things. Once I graduated from UNH or was about to graduate, all of a sudden I was like, shoot, what am I going to do with my art major? I just love creating things. There was a lot of 3D art and I knew I was moving to Portland area. And so I applied at all these different places and there was this design and construction company that I thought, well, maybe I'll get into some of the design aspect and the construction aspect. And the guy who hired me as a carpenter's helper at first in 2005, that summer. And it turns out I was good at it and I learned quickly. And I wasn't necessarily doing all the design work that I wanted to, but it felt really good to be creating things and helping people make their homes better, something. Their house was all of a sudden a home because we were making it more customized to them.
Well, you've done 2 kitchens for me at this point, so I know that you're definitely good at it. Hopefully that's it for a while for me, but I definitely know that you're good at what you do. So 2009 started All Walks of Carpentry. How'd you come up with that name?
It was my old business partner. Actually, in 2008, we had been laid off for a combined total of 3 months. And my old business partner, Brian, and I decided, you know what, we better take this into our own hands. Neither one of us wanted to be the low person on the totem pole at another construction company and work our way up, especially me. I was done making $15 an hour. I was like, I'm worth more than this. I can't live on this. So he actually thought of the name All Walks of Carpentry while he was getting a coffee one day, and it was around Christmas time, and January 1st, 2009, we just rolled right into it.
Now, are you guys still partners?
No, that lasted for about a year and a half, and then he and his wife ended up moving with their baby back down to Rhode Island. So I turned it into a sole proprietorship and an LLC and an S Corp after that. So
love it. So, all right. So you started the business in 2009. What happened from there? Obviously operated for a few years. But...
Yeah. So I didn't have a slow season. Once we got rolling, word of mouth was the way I was doing business. I didn't have to advertise. I felt really lucky to have a lot of great work in Cape Elizabeth and Falmouth were frequent towns that I would work in, but anywhere from like Biddeford, Saco to Freeport. And I would just do renovation, remodeling, lots of like kitchens, bathrooms, decks, siding, windows, doors. Like if it had to be done, I was even doing roofing. And then finally I was like, I'm done carrying shingles up a ladder on my shoulder.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
So as years have gone on, I've been able to like hone down what my ideal client and ideal project is, but it's been a fun ride, that's for sure.
So, and you still do that, and I'm sure you're as busy as ever, just given the nature of, home improvements and renovations at this point.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts these last couple of years. Right now, I'm working on the biggest kitchen renovation I've ever done.
You mentioned that. Yeah. Is it really big square footage, or is it intricate in terms of the design? Like, what's special about it?
All of it. They hired a great kitchen designer out of Portland who spent months and months on the process with them about all their ideal scenarios that they would want in a kitchen. We ended up blowing out some walls and making a bigger footprint for the kitchen, and tons of cabinets. There's like 3 kitchens worth of
Yep.
cabinets in this kitchen, and
No kidding.
everything is very flush and very detailed. So we've had to just kind of throttle back and slow down and just really pay attention to every single detail, because every one of them matters. So it's been a really fun one.
I look forward to seeing the pictures when you're done. I know Dave's going up there, next week?
No, we're
I'll
done.
share some
I
of
bet
those.
he'll be up there in a couple months, because we've got some doors that need replacing. So
Oh, okay. I was thinking sooner than that, but I'll look forward to seeing those pictures because it sounds like it's awesome.
it's a fun one.
So meanwhile, you're managing your construction carpentry business, and then you decided to get into Arbonne. Tell me about where that started, when that started. And how it's
Yeah,
been going.
so it was spring 2015, and I had been suffering from chronic migraines for 6 years, and throwing a lot of time and money and resources at figuring out a solution, and still wasn't anywhere near where I wanted to be. I was still having headaches at least 3 or 4 times a week. And then Arbonne found me, a health and wellness company that has plant-based and toxin-free nutrition and skincare products. And I wasn't interested at first glance, but the woman in my Pilates class who shared it with me was so good about trickling information in on me and listening to what was going on with me, chronic headaches, and I wasn't finding a solution. She invited me to this presentation about this 30-day clean eating plan that Arbonne has, which I was very like, whoa, I'm not doing that. Like, you want me to give up gluten, dairy, and sugar for 30 days? Like, who do you think you are? Because
it's a big ask, at least for the first meeting or first time talking
totally.
about it.
It was so scary. And I saw this list of symptoms that say, you might need to reduce inflammation or kind of detox your body in a way if you're experiencing any of these symptoms. And I was with my husband at the time, ex-husband now, and between the two of us, we had everything on that list. And headaches was the big one. Headaches and joint pain for me were on that list. And through that plan was how I discovered that gluten and refined sugar are big no-nos for me. They're headache triggers. They cause a lot of joint pain, brain fog. And it was just a few months after that I saw the business opportunity in Arbonne, how it could be a plan B, a way for me to kind of ease off on the full-time physical work to give my body a break. And I chose Wednesdays because after that, I met you through a networking group, and that happens on Wednesdays. So it seems to be a good midweek break for my body.
So it's been 6 years then, correct? I was looking at the date after I interviewed Kelly a few weeks back. I was looking at the date. I believe it was summer of 2016 at this point, summer into fall of 2016. So that's when we first met, and that's when you've been doing Arbonne.
Yeah,
since
it was
point.
November 2015 when I started my Arbonne business, and then I first met you that spring. I think it was in March or April 2016. So I had just promoted to the first level of management and was getting my name out there more. And I landed at Norcom Mortgage. There was a meeting at your office. So that's the first time I met you.
And people are going to get bored of hearing about BNI, but we will dig into a little bit. But I do remember that the early days of BNI, me, you, a handful of other people in our back conference room meeting, and then now look at us 6 years, all the progress and fun stuff that we've done since then. So I have done the clean eating program, I think twice, and loved it. Thought it was great. I would definitely do it again. I probably actually should do it again. So maybe we'll talk about that afterwards. But I've also bought shakes and fizz sticks and, the Digestion Plus and a million things for, what would you say, 5 years straight at this point? 4 or 5 years? I mean, I can't start my day without a shake every single morning. Like, get up, spinach, blueberries, strawberries, bananas, a little bit of peanut butter, a few other things, and it is the best part of my day.
I'm so proud of you and so grateful for your support. Like, this has been an every month thing for years now, and you're like my best customer, Randy. And
I just got to keep introducing you to more and more people. That's my big goal, and I'm hoping that this podcast can help facilitate some of that, open up some conversations. But yeah, I was out of town last weekend. I think that I was in California for a few days. And when I go on vacation, I actually haven't figured out a way to like bring my shake stuff and track down blenders and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I kind of let it go. But as soon as I get home, it's like, all right, let's go. Go in a store, bananas. Let's go. I need to make a shake. So it's nice to
Good
be
for
on
you.
track.
It's easy to reset. And I've found like Dawn and I are flying to Tennessee tomorrow morning just for the weekend, Thursday to Sunday.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I actually love traveling with Arbonne. I always have, we were joking last night because I pack more snacks and supplements than I do clothes. And so
Can you talk to Tara?
We'll have a chat. But
Yeah, she.
I know.
will help
I
with
mean,
that, I think.
between like the Energy Fizz sticks and the gut health or digestion plus, and then the protein packets, I'm liking the coffee protein lately, and they have individual packets of that. So I just buy almond milk when I get down there, and just do like a lazy shake and just shake it up, and it gets me by. So it's not as much like damage to manage when I get home.
I gotta try the coffee. I'm such a creature of habit. It's like I'm just like vanilla, but it's so good that I don't even want to try anything else. I know they've had pumpkin in the past, maybe a few other flavors. I'm just like kind of put the blinders onto all that stuff.
You're like the citrus fizz and the vanilla shake, and don't talk to me about anything else.
Then I had a little bit of watermelon, and it's been pretty good since then. I know I mentioned it the other day to you. So it's all good stuff. And I don't have Red Bull. I don't have Gatorade. I don't have any of that stuff. It's just, it's either a coffee or I have a fizz stick. And what a fizz stick is just a little packet that you kind of put into your water, and kind of have that as a way to start off your day. There's other similar type products, but I do love me some fizz sticks. Now, one of the things I'm curious about with Arbonne is just a little bit about how the business works. Like, what's your goal? Obviously, you want people that are buying product, but I think you also want to have people that are working with you or for you to also have product move.
Yeah,
Is that how that works?
We work. I think of it. It's kind of fun to explain it in construction terms. Like, you need your bricks and you need your mortar to have a strong foundation. And with Arbonne, your bricks are consultants, so they're teammates who are doing the same thing as you. They're just sharing products that they use and love. I don't use Arbonne's makeup, so I don't sell a whole lot of makeup. There's people buying mascara from me and stuff, but not because I recommended it to them. I just don't wear it personally. But the nutrition products and the skincare products have changed my health and my complexion big time. So I'm always just looking for people who want to create another stream of income in a way that it's on their terms. So if they have like 2 hours on a Tuesday night and they have like a couple hours on a Sunday afternoon, and otherwise they don't really have time to dig into it, then I can work with them on that. And it's really fun because everybody has a different goal and everybody wants something different out of it. So I have some teammates who are looking to make enough money to buy their own products so they can switch their brand to Arbonne's toxin-free brand, and they're not buying retail. And then I have consultants who want that, and they want to pay for soccer equipment for their kids, and they want to pay their car payment. And then others want to be at the top of the company making $22,000 a month or more. And it's just fun that everybody gets to be themselves and honor their goals and values and fit Arbonne into those pockets. So it doesn't have to be all Arbonne all the time. It can be just whatever works for them and in that moment, because that changes.
Definitely. Now, what is your role? What's your title, I should say?
I'm a regional.
Now, you're kind of a big deal. So this is, this is.
So I'm a regional vice president. That's Arbonne's third out of 4 levels of management. It's the top 2% of the company. And my team achieved that promotion at the beginning of COVID. And I always kind of joke around that part of the reason that happened was because my butt was not on a job site pounding nails because of COVID. We did have outdoor projects going on, but I was at home on the computer and on the phone helping people from home, which it felt really good because people were not wanting to, or not able to go shopping, or not wanting to. And so they were able to get products shipped right to their door instead within a week's time. And so it really helped people fill those voids when they couldn't go to the store.
Mm-hmm. I hadn't really thought of it in those terms, but that makes sense. And it's been great to see the success that you've had, because I've seen you, I think you've been to Vegas a few times, Arizona, Cancun, it's Arbonne trips all the time. You have a Mercedes that's paid for by Arbonne. So
it's fun.
So life is good.
And it's really fun being able to weave this into carpentry, because when you look at from the outside looking in, it's probably like these are polar opposite businesses. But to me, it's like I'm just trying to help people make their lives better in some capacity. It's like we have these basic needs of food, water, and shelter, and I can help people with all of those things with these two businesses. It's just funny how it works out that way.
It is a great mix, but I definitely see how it could go hand in hand that way. And it's helped you probably to be better on carpentry. It's hard to operate if your joints are inflamed or if you have migraines or headaches, the way you described it. The fact that this allows you to work more effectively on that side of things, I think it just leads to a better 100%. Quality of life
I think
all around.
Stereotypically, tradespeople eat garbage and drink garbage, and I just feel so much better when I have my shake for breakfast also, and it's on the road on the way to work, and then for lunch, it's either a shake or some egg salad or chicken salad or something like that, something that's light and easy to digest so I can keep moving in the afternoon and just stay fueled. It's a lot different than the days that I would have like chips and a sandwich and a Gatorade and then just feel awful and then be starving an hour later.
It's so hard to eat on the road. So I actually credit a lot of the progress I've made on that front to you for that reason. Obviously still got a long ways to go, but the progress that has been made, I think, has a lot to do with the pattern that I've got into with Arbonne and trying to eat healthier.
Thank you for saying that. I mean, I've always been impressed with the shifts you've made, because I know when we first started working together on the Arbonne front, it was like your mindset at the time was all or nothing. Like if I screw up and have whatever, something awful for lunch, then I'm just like, screw it. This week is done. I'm just going to keep doing it.
Yeah, it's like, let's go get beers tonight. I mean, it's still a juggling act for that with me. I expect perfection out of myself. So like you said, as soon as it's not perfect, it's wasted. And again, I haven't gotten better at that, but
I'm so impressed with what I've seen. And I think it's kind of human nature to shame ourselves when we get off track. And what I love about Arbonne is you can always jump back in, whether it's the nutrition, like the clean eating plan, or the business. In all actuality, it's always there for you. You can always jump back in when the timing is right for you. And it's all mindset. It's all like what's going on between our two ears is
definitely. Well, thanks for sharing that. I figured we might as well bring up BNI while we're at it. Again, people are probably sick of it, but I think we should talk about it. It's a big part of our lives. We both founded the BNI Rising Tide chapter in Saco, like we already said, 6 years ago. Started with 5 or 6 people in that back room, and now we're into the 20s. Membership fluctuates from month to month, just with different things going on in people's lives. But it seems like we're in a good spot.
It does feel good. I like seeing the new faces come in. I've always loved the energy that our chapter has. I really enjoy the vibe of the meeting. Like on Tuesday nights when I'm preparing for the meeting, my mindset is I get to go to BNI and see my buddies, my colleagues, my referral partners tomorrow. It's never I have to go to BNI. Like it's never been that feeling for me. It's always been, I get to do this. And so I intentionally carve that time out of my schedule because there's just so much value in networking in that way, where you're really building real relationships with other small business owners who want to make an impact on their community too.
And that's the feedback that we get from people that come. I mean, almost on a weekly basis when we have a new visitor coming by, just the greeting that they get, the people that went out of their way to talk to them, the feel that we have, the way everyone's laughing and joking around, but at the same time taking things serious. And there is business being passed within the group. I think people see that, and it's something they get attracted to when they come. Yeah, so we're always looking for more people, right? That's a constant thing. I mean, people's lives change and people move on or switch employment or move away. So, we are always looking for new people. We meet every Wednesday morning. BNI Rising Tide is at Run of the Mill in Saco. I'll continue to share information about it, but we're always trying to get as many people as we possibly can to come visit. And we're expecting a Visitors Day
27th.
at the end of July.
That'll be a good one.
27th, nice. Okay, so there's that. As far as things in your business that you're proud of, what are some success stories, things, accomplishments that you're super proud of?
Well, I'd say from Arbonne, it's the promotions and the amount of time that I was able to achieve those. It took a lot of hard work and consistency and really caring about others to be able to promote to the top 2% of the company. And I've earned a few incentive trips, and I'll be actually, my friend Libby and I, she's also a regional vice president, will both be walking the stage in Vegas on, I think it's like July 12th or 13th. So coming up in just a couple of weeks. Yeah, we'll be,
Oh, no
yeah,
kidding.
everybody's going to be
realize that.
all
Awesome.
dressed up and walking in front of like 16 or 17,000 people at the MGM. It's going to be nuts. So
Okay.
that'll be different, but yeah, it'll be cool.
Good
And
for
then
you.
in carpentry, I would say my biggest success or thing that I'm proud of is my growth that has been a byproduct of Arbonne. I've done a lot of coaching on personal development and leadership development, and it's allowed me to reprioritize things. So putting my health and wellness first allows me to show up better for myself, my family, my relationships, my businesses, and show up for the people that I'm working for really well. And alongside that comes setting boundaries and not people pleasing as much. That's something that I had always been a people pleaser, and I'm setting more boundaries so that that doesn't happen, so that I'm saying yes to only the things that are a full body yes, and I'm saying no to anything that isn't a full body yes, because if it isn't, it's a hell no. You know that feeling, right?
Yeah. I think, anyone that is busy with work has a hard time with that, saying no, trying to keep everybody happy. But if you can carve some time out for yourself or set some clear expectations around that, I think it's such an improvement
it feels
on how you live
really
and
good.
operate.
I'm in a much different place than I was 7 years ago when I started Arbonne and joined BNI. It's a world of difference, and it just feels really good to be happy and busy, but a good kind of busy, not like a burnout busy like I used to operate on.
Yeah, no one understands that better than me. So trust me, I get it. Yeah, this is an accomplishment for you. It almost sounds like a key to success for you at the same time. That's one of the things that I wanted to ask you about next. It sounds like your focus on health could be a key to success, but I assume there are other things that have led to your success as well. Anything in particular you want to share?
I've worked with a mentor and author named Brendon Burchard recently, well, I say recently, but COVID kind of has a time warp to it. So probably 3 or 4 years ago at this point, he talks about how confidence is your belief in your ability to figure things out. And growing up, and as I started my carpentry business, I never would have considered myself a confident person. I didn't feel like I had confidence, and I associated confidence with cockiness. It was just my own misinterpretation of it. But once I heard Brendon Burchard say that confidence is your belief in your ability to figure things out, that's when I realized I am confident, and I say yes to things, and then I figure them out. And like I said before, I'm saying yes to those full body yes things, and that's what feels so good right now, to be in that groove.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Is he a local mentor or someone on a bigger level?
He's a very big level. So he's worked with Oprah Winfrey. He's worked with Jay-Z. He's worked with all kinds of big wigs. And I worked with, not him directly, but one of his coaches that he's trained. He has high performance coaching. His podcast is The Brendon Show. So good stuff. He's one of those super positive, chipper people that just gets me jazzed up if I need it. So
yeah, I could use a little of that in my life. So I'll have to check that out and probably share some of that info when I post the pod. Well, awesome. Thanks so much for coming on and chatting. It flew by. Always
it was awesome.
Something.
You did great.
Wasn't too bad, was it?
I know I told you this at BNI the other day, but I've listened to all your podcast episodes so far. And every time I hear one, I'm like, I know him. I'm fangirling you, Randy.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's been a ton of fun to do, digging, have conversations with people, so things aren't always so surface level. Not that they are between the two of us or anyone I've talked to, but it's a fun time to kind of dig into certain stuff, learn stuff about people that I've known and just give me a little bit different perspective on things they got going on and their story or hopes and dreams for the future. So it's all good stuff, and I'm excited to have had you on. We were supposed to do it a couple weeks ago, but life circumstances didn't allow for it, and I'm glad we made it happen now. Before I let you go, do you want to share the best way for people to reach you on a website, social media? I think probably the most
cut and dry way would be through Instagram. So my handle or name on there is @Melinda J. Cobb. That'd probably be the smoothest way to contact me.
Well, I'll share that as well. And thanks again
Thanks
for
for
coming.
having me. I
appreciate it. It
always
was
love
awesome
a
talking with
conversation
you.
with Randy.
Well, have a good day. I'll talk to you soon. All right. See ya.